Hi guys, it's Angie with Fun Endeavors Tie-Dye Lab. Today I'm making an ice-dyed galaxy shirt. My shirt was washed and dried, soaked in a soda ash solution for at least 20 to 30 minutes. I wrung it out in my Panda spin dryer and so it's just barely damp. I also have it turned inside out and laying flat on a table. Using my fingers, I'm just beginning at the bottom and I'm going to scrunch my shirt up. Then I'm going to use rubber bands to hold it in place. This is a child-size shirt that I'm using today, and this is also my first time making a galaxy shirt. But I thought this would be something fun that kids would enjoy. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going to ice dye this shirt. I'm also going to dye it down in the muck. What muck is it's the runoff from where the ice melts and runs through the dye. So it's dye and ice runoff. So to dye it in the muck, I've put my shirt down inside of a container and it's just laying flat on the bottom of the container. I'm going to begin by adding dye directly to the top of my shirt, and I'm starting with basic blue from Pro Chemical and Dye. I'm adding the colors in larger segments on my shirt. The second color is Cotton Candy from Pro Chemical and Dye. Followed by Tropical Dream from Dharma Trading Company. Lilac from Dharma Trading Company. And all of the blank spaces, I'm going to add Deep Space from Dharma Trading Company. You can see all of my color swatches up above. Those are the colors that I'm putting on my shirt. What I like to do is I make color swatches each time I get a new color, and then when I'm choosing the colors for my shirt, I just pull my swatches and pick the colors that I think will look nice together. Now I'm going to add a generous sprinkle of soda ash over the top. I add the extra soda ash to make sure as the ice melts that I still have plenty of soda ash in my shirt to react with the dye. Now I'm going to load the ice on. I'm going to add an additional sprinkle of Deep Space over the top of the ice. Now I'm going to add the lid on top of my container and set it aside where it won't be disturbed until it's ready to rinse out. I will wait to rinse it out until 24 hours after the ice is melted. After the shirt was washed and dried, this is what it looks like. I think I overdid it a little bit with the Deep Space. It turned out a little bit darker than I was expecting. I was hoping for a few larger chunks of color in the shirt. I still like it though, so I'm going to go ahead and add some stars. I've covered my workspace with some plastic, and in between the layers of my shirt, I'm adding some cardboard so that the paint doesn't soak through. I'm going to show you another trick that I use too if you don't happen to have any cardboard. I use wax paper that I fold to fit inside my shirt and put that in between the layers. It's just plain regular wax paper like you buy in the supermarket. I'm also putting some wax paper up in the sleeves of my shirt because I'm going to add paint to those areas too. For this project, I'm going to use a paper plate, a toothbrush that I purchased at the dollar store, and some fabric paint that I got at Michael's. This is soft fabric paint, and it's an Imagine 8 brand. I'm getting some of the paint on the bristles of my brush, and then I'm going to use the paper plate to kind of wipe some of that off of the bristles. I don't want too much paint on my bristles at one time. Then using my finger, I'm just going to splatter the paint onto my shirt. If this is a technique that you've never done before, you might want to take it to a piece of cardboard or something else to practice on before you start on your shirt. I also have some Tulip brand soft paint that is glow in the dark. So it doesn't really have a color. It won't show up a whole lot on my shirt, but hopefully it's going to glow a little bit when the lights go out. I'm going to use a fresh toothbrush for this one and do the same process. Now I'm going to rinse out my brushes and allow my shirt to dry for probably about 4 hours before I flip it over to the back side. Okay, so now the shirt is dry on the front side. I'm going to turn it over to the back and do the same process on the back side of the shirt. You can add however many splatters on your shirt that you'd like. The splatters are supposed to signify stars. Some of them ended up a little bit larger than others, so we'll just refer to those as shooting stars. After the back side is dried, I turned it back over to the front, mixed a little bit of the white paint with the glow-in-the-dark paint, and I'm going to paint on some little bursts to look like larger stars. To do this, I'm using a small acrylic brush. After I paint on the front side, I'm going to let it dry again, then turn it over and do the same thing on the back. The kind of fabric paint that I'm using says that it does not need to be heat set after I'm finished with it. You need to read the instructions for the particular fabric paint that you're using though. I know that some fabric paint needs to be heat set after it is put onto your fabric so that it will be permanent. So always make sure and read the instructions for the particular paint that you're using. Now that everything is dry, this is what our shirt looks like. I think it photographs lighter than it really is. I think the video where you saw me painting on the shirt is a little bit more of an accurate depiction of the color. I still wish I would have had a little bit larger chunks of the color in my shirt instead of it being a little bit more muddled. However, I like the way it turned out, and I think a child's going to think it's really fun. If you all enjoyed this video, or have been enjoying watching my other videos, I sure would appreciate it if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel. All you have to do is hit the big red subscribe button. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a great day.